Madden Football is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Vikings and the Chargers, and it comes your way next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Tonight, it is all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy, as it'll be the AFC champion LA Chargers taking on the champions from the NFC, the Minnesota Vikings. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. CD, what a road for these Chargers. Just their second Super Bowl appearance ever and first representing L.A.
And it's a franchise that's been around a long time. Originally, the L.A. Chargers had a lot of success in the AFL, but this is for the Super Bowl. And a lot of folks in Southern California have certainly waited for this day. It's a chance to do something that's never been done before in franchise history.
Meanwhile, for the Vikings, this may be their best chance to finally break the goose egg, Charles. They've been here 4 times previously, still looking, though, for that first Super Bowl victory.
And as every Vikings fan can tell you, those were Super Bowls 4, 8, 9, and 11. So going on close to a half century since their last appearance in the big game.
The final act of the 2023 season is at hand. What a spectacle in Las Vegas. We're off in Super Bowl 58. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. And they're going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. And on the grandest of stages, with the whole world watching the Super Bowl, they come out and get the first points.
I don't know how you feel about Brandon, but for me, watching the beginning of the Super Bowl, I've often wondered how come it's not just a fumble fest? How come the ball's not all over the place? The nerves, the interim in between of the 2 weeks waiting for the game. But this team came out and handled it just like it was a regular season walk in the park. Terrific start.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure.
The previous play is under review.
Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
Let's go.
The drive starts with a handoff to Pirine. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the 21, here's a second down and 4. Play action. It's Herbert. He finds his target, Allen. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. He was a 1,000-yard receiver during the regular season, and that's his first catch of this Super Bowl, and he picks up the first down.
It's a game of matchups. Take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. He was a 1,000-yard receiver during the regular season, and that's his first catch of this Super Bowl, and he picks up the first down.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
They run it with Pirine on first down. Stop made there by Brian Asamoah.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Now it's Herbert. It's caught on the right side. Williams. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 19. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Hand off here for P. Ryan. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
2nd down and 4. They'll run again with P. Ryan. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal. They've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is for the guys moving the ball right now. They know what they're doing. Their plan is working. But I flip it over and watch and say, okay, what are you going to do to change things up? Because if you don't, they're going to put that ball in the end zone real soon.
It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
Here's where we need to see some tenacity from this defense, because they've been pushed right down the field on this opening drive. They've got to find some way to push back, and that's a good first step.
They'll try the air now with Herbert to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time they were up to the challenge.
They can't read us straight up.
A big one here early in this Super Bowl. It's 3rd and goal. P. Ryan will score. Touchdown, Chargers. And that caps off what was really a balanced opening drive for them, Charles. They work in the rushing game and the aerial attack, and they end it with a touchdown.
Strong in so many ways, wasn't it, partner? Their ability to throw it and run it and accomplish their goal, they've got to like the way that they started this ball game.
For the extra point, Cameron Dicker. And the Chargers grab the 7-0 lead. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it's capped off by a touchdown run from Samaje Perine. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more. So here come the Vikings as they get set for their first drive. And trotting out there, no introduction needed for this guy around the league. Now in his 7th season as a QB.
And he spoke very eloquently and passionately on media day about what a victory here would mean for him. He knows this just isn't any other game. This is the kind of game that stays with you for a lifetime. If there's anyone on this field tonight who's most ready for this moment, I think it's this man right here.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Joey Bosa so strong, able to fight his way in there to make the play.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
On 2nd down, here's Nwangu. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
Here now a 3rd down and 8. They'll set up a throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. He was a 1,000-yard receiver during the regular season, and that's his first catch of the Super Bowl, and he picks up the first down.
I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game. But this seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that first down on 3rd down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot. and they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. You get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game.
So they've got a nice drive going now. They're in good shape. What's interesting to me is they're also in that spot of the field where you would take a shot. Do you change that up just because you're down a touchdown?
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Here's 2nd and 8. And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test him early. But they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Being chased out left. Able to find the open man. That's complete. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 23 yards, the final tally.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Ready up!
On 1st down, they'll run with the Wonder. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
2nd down and a little more than a yard here. First carry now for Alexander Madison. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
1st and goal, and a chance to get that initial touchdown right back. They'll look to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A 9-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this Super Bowl at 7.
That's a really good decision right there outside of the pocket. You've got to know the right time to shift from passer to runner. He was looking and looking. Nothing there. You can almost feel the brainwaves firing as he calculates. I think I can win a race to the pylon. And he turns out to be right. Touchdown.
Point after, right down the middle. And we are tied at 7. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And a 9-yard run on the end of it. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Taken at the goal line. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. The Chargers get set to go here for their 2nd drive. A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive that they watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they have had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play, though, gets them right back up to that level.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going into the court.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
Yeah, he's just trying to throw this ball into the hole in the zone, but those windows can open and close quickly, especially in the middle of the field. So if the timing's not right, we'll see interceptions like that one right there.
The Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game. They'll have very good starting field position here as they try to break our tie, and they start 1st and 10. Straight ahead, here's Nwangu. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Out route to Jefferson, and he's got it. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. His second catch of the Super Bowl, and it's good enough for a 1st down. Now a give, running left is Nwangu. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Kene Nwangu taking it in from 14 yards out. And the Vikings have moved out in front. A strong, determined run there, Charles, to get in for 6 points.
This is why it's such a team game, isn't it? And I know that sounds really generic, and it sounds almost trite. But the blocks were made up front, offensive line, collective victory at the line of scrimmage and downfield. And how about the finish to the run all the way into the end zone?
Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. From his end zone, here's Darius Davis. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Charger drive about to get going. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. They start on the ground with Pirine. And he'll be taken down here as it will take us to the end of the 1st quarter. That brings us to the end of one in Super Bowl 58. Much more to come from Las Vegas after this. 14-7 is the score. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we are back and ready to go for the 2nd quarter of the Super Bowl. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis, as always, thrilled to be with you. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 45 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the 2nd half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a 1st down, pick it up, and keep moving.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Go.
Herbert off of play action. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position, you have to be. You just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball.
It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
Meanwhile, Herbert's throw there complete to Allen. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 44-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. They'll run it here with Pirine. Solid running on the carry, but still brought down just inside of the 40. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Herbert now. And now off to the races down the right side. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 12-yard line. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Herbert. Out left, he's got it to Everett. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Defense able to get there, swarm to the football. Zilch, 0 nada there for the offense, Charles.
Yeah, it really was an example of good team defense, wasn't it? Everyone handled their responsibilities, and they held them to no gain.
Herbert on 3rd down now. Touchdown, Chargers. Samaje Perine. His 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Chargers are an extra point away from tying up this Super Bowl. Well, he is putting in a great all-around game, Charles. He already ran one in for a score, and now they utilize him in the passing game.
And they put a lot of pressure on a defensive coordinator and a defense, don't they? Because they're used to him as a runner. But it turns out he's just as dangerous as some of those receivers, and he showed it right there. You don't pay enough attention to him defensively, he makes you pay.
Extra point up and good by Dicker. And we are tied at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. And the Vikings now heading on to the field. And right now, we've got a little bit of an offensive masterpiece going on. Both sides moving the football, scoring points. It's almost like somebody put the defense on rookie mode in this one. I mean, we haven't even left the first half, Charles, and we're certainly on pace for a shootout.
An excellent start for both offenses. The fans have to be enjoying this to seeing all these points go up on the board. As a former defender, you know I'm not enjoying this at all. But right now, both these teams just trading haymakers. Let's see if anyone slips up first. Can anyone counter with a nice little jab and get things going in their direction?
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set him back for 2nd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about, and you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway.
Oh, a lot of credit to the play caller here. He saw the design in his mind and implemented it. A little zone stretcher here because they started the tight end on the left side of the formation and sent him on a crossing route. And this works really well when you can find that space between levels, and they were able to do so for good yardage.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Sometimes I forget how much information he has to go through before the ball's even snapped, but what a diagnosis right there. Saw the play, shot through the gap like a rocket, and ends up spilling it for a loss.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. Complete, Jefferson the target. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And now we've got a 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. He'll look to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And the Vikings are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And that could be one of those turning point plays in a ball game. A field goal gets you the lead here, but they want to make a statement and get 6 points. And they're certainly going to get that opportunity as they get the conversion and set up 1st and goal.
And a nice pickup there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line.
It's largely been the air attack that's gotten them down here, but now is where you start to lean on that running game. That's a good pickup there on 1st and goal.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. They'll set up to throw. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Jalen Naylor from 4 yards out. And the Vikings are going to take the lead. Now the try here for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. That time a 9-play drive, and it's polished off by a Viking score. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. Samaje Perine on the offense heading back out there. They're behind in the first half here, CD, but it's not through any fault of their running back. He's had a strong start to this one.
And you're right about that, partner, because watching him play, you would think that his team is in the lead. He has been a lot of fun in this contest. Now let's see if they can actually make something happen and put more points on the board behind his efforts.
Yeah, I'm curious to see, Charles, if they can play complementary football and get that passing game going as well. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 66 yards rushing for him now in the first half of this Super Bowl. 2 minutes on the clock in the second quarter of this Super Bowl.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run. A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. Throw right side is into the hands of his tight end, Everett. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. On 1st and 10, Herbert. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. Actually gives them a chance to regroup. Relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by Byron Murphy. And the Vikings are going to get it back here just past the 35. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, Davis.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? They'll try and start this drive in the air. And that one going to come up short. Low throw.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Finds his man. There's Jordan Addison. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as he'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Nwangu going to get it on the counter. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Second down and 8. They're going to look to throw. This one brought in by Jefferson. It'll be a gain of 5. And now we've got a third down and 3.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
On third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. This one incomplete. Almost picked off by the rookie, but he couldn't quite look it in. And now it's fourth down.
Coverage was awfully tight there on third down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up fourth down.
Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And the lead works its way up to 10, 24-14. Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards. The Chargers going to take over here one more time before the half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
So we've reached halftime here in the Super Bowl as we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. What a season this has been. Hard to believe it ends tonight, as we'll get back to you guys for the second half of this Super Bowl in just a moment. Both teams making their final adjustments of the season during this long halftime break. Who will claim the Lombardi Trophy? To find out, we go back to Brandon and Charles in Vegas for the second half of Super Bowl 58.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. And I would imagine this is where you have to take stock of the situation, CD, and say, gosh, we're halfway to the Lombardi Trophy. Let's not slow down now.
And I like the way you went there. Let's not slow down now, because the first half certainly went their way. And I would expect them to continue with that type of a game plan. But you're right. You do think back to Super Bowl 54. 49ers had a double-digit lead in the fourth quarter, couldn't hold on, so plenty can still happen.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete. Now a 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw here. Middle of the field to Jefferson. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 5 catches for him in that first half, and that's number 6 that we just saw, and also a first down.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. He'll drop to throw. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. On play action, they'll throw. This is caught by Addison. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Another run now for Nwangu. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Up the middle, Nwangu. And some determined running there as he'll pick his way down to the 12-yard line. 48 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. On the give is Nwangu. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard. And quickly, they get to the line. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. They're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted. Picked off by Khalil Mack. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Charger TD. Well, this defense, they've been terrific all year, and they come through with a pick 6 here on the game's biggest stage.
Perfect descriptor there, because we have seen this time and time again. This defense, their ability to take the ball away from teams, they definitely have a nose for the football, and it pays off again on that play.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Oh, a good return up past the 30. Past midfield. Still going. One man to beat. And he will score. Touchdown, Minnesota. It's been a back-and-forth game, a lot of points on the board, and that return right there kind of indicative of how this thing's gone.
Man, you've seen both teams go at it, and as you just pointed out, both of them have found the end zone. But just like in boxing, you know the blow that hurts the most? The one you didn't see coming, and that often is the case when it comes in special teams.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. And no doubt one of the most, if not the most exciting play we'll see in this game. The kick return all the way to the end zone for 6 points. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. L.A. set to take over again on offense. Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10 at their own 22.
12.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A gain there of 30 big ones. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Justin Herbert looking to pass. He's got his man. That's Everett, the tight end. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. Herbert. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. It's a loss of 5 there on the sack to bring up 2nd and goal. Well, 1st and goal looked like things were set up nicely, and now all of a sudden on 2nd and goal, Charles, a big challenge ahead of them.
And you have to know when you're this close to the goal line, things are going to happen faster, so you've got to get the ball out quick, not going to have much time in the pocket before the defenders bring pressure.
Now Pirine. And he was able to shed 1 tackle but could not get away from there. They get 5 on the run, but it leaves them with a tough 3rd and goal forthcoming. Herbert now. He throws it on the move but can't connect as that falls incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
And his kick here is good. And this is back down to a 7-point game. So give him 3 on that drive. You know, normally you'd say, we'll take it, but the way points have been flying around, it feels like a little bit of a letdown.
Yeah, you just have to wonder, are field goals going to be enough? Because as you pointed out, the way touchdowns have been scored, does kicking a field goal actually put you at a disadvantage the rest of the way?
And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. They're rocking and rolling, but the scoreboard doesn't show a big difference. You know, maybe it's one of those games where coaches say you can't miss your turn on offense.
I like the way you phrased it, especially with that. I love that rocking and rolling because the explosions on offense are happening. So that's going to get the crowd going. They're loving that. But defensively, they just can't get it together to get the stops they've needed in order to help increase their margin. They've got to find a way, but you're not counting on it. That's exactly what you said. Can't miss your turn, can't miss your opportunity.
Yeah, they're going for another opportunity now. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 65 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times. Now a timeout called for by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn 1 here in this 3rd quarter. Looking to throw. Escaping the pressure right. That's caught at the 25. And he's going to be out of bounds here all the way down inside the 10. A big play there for Minnesota. 49 yards.
This play is a thing of beauty when it works as designed because they let the running back slip out of the backfield and head down the sideline on a wheel route. Number 1, it's easy for him to get lost. And number 2, really tough for the linebacker to run with him. And this ball's right on the money and leads to a big play.
And he powers through the first wave, but he's going to be swallowed up behind the line of scrimmage.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. And if they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
They'll go right back to the Wangu. They'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here, not not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
3rd and goal, a big play in this Super Bowl. On the toss, here's Nwangu. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Give him 4 yards there, but they're still well short of the goal line with 4th down now looming. Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And his kick is indeed good, and that will extend their lead even further. So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Herbert on 1st down now. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. We are through 3 quarters of play here from Allegiant Stadium in Super Bowl 58. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Folks, welcome back to the biggest stage in sports, the Super Bowl, and now we get down to the good stuff, the 4th and final quarter. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Allen's got it complete. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Herbert off of play action. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack. We've seen him escape similar situations earlier in the game and get away from pretty good yardage. At that time, they get him down.
Yeah, they've had enough evidence that he can get away and run for good yardage, haven't they? That time it felt like, okay, enough of this. Let's play it the right way and get him on the ground before he does any damage.
And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. That'll be a 41-yard punt, 4 yards there on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. First play's a run with Nwangu. He'll get this up to about the 44. So 4th quarter, a nice run there to start this drive. Charles, what do you think the split will be here between run and pass?
Well, partner, I think it'll lean towards the run, but this is also not a time where you just totally do that. You still have to possess the ball, move the sticks, and keep the clock moving as well. So they'll run their offense, but yeah, when they have a chance to run it, they'll do that a little bit more.
Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. And that will be incomplete.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to pick up the Vikings' first down, and he'll have it by plenty, as it turns out to be a big gainer there on 4th down. The passing game continues to be their friend, even with a stable lead here in the 4th, Charles. They're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. They continue to throw these safe passes. Who can blame them?
And they do get him down, but not he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the fourth quarter, but the way that they passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think you continue to do so.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Give left side here for Nwangu. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Well, the spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone. He was trying to make it a double spotlight, wasn't he?
But credit the defense, bottling him up, not letting him get in for the 2nd score there. They'll try again, and he will again go backwards as they drive him back to the 4-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run it until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Now back to throw. There's Addison. Touchdown, Vikings. 4 yards on the touchdown grab. And the Vikings are starting to pull away in the 4th quarter of this Super Bowl. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Extra point attempt to come here. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that drive in total 8 plays. And Jordan Addison capped it off with a touchdown catch. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And their Super Bowl hopes are dwindling here in the 4th. That AFC crown from 2 weeks ago starting to seem like a distant memory. And this one just has not gone as they had hoped. On 1st down, it's Herbert. And he'll find Everett there, complete. Through the middle of the field. And finally taken down at the 20-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run, and even 60 yards. So the field flips here as they'll go to work at the 20 now on 1st and 10. Herbert operating from the red zone. Looking left sideline, it's complete. Touchdown! Xander Horvath, a 20-yard touchdown. And the Chargers have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you'd kept them out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on them. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
Extra point up and good by Dicker. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. The quick strike ability certainly intact there. 2 plays, 80 yards to score it. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
They go play action here on 1st down. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And the Chargers are right back in this football game. That is the play they needed in a two-score game here in the fourth quarter.
No doubt about it. They did what they had to do to give themselves a chance to get back into the game. They turned it over to the offense. They are now in charge.
Now they need to execute. The Charger drive about to get going. And we're at the time of this Super Bowl where, look, they need points. And they need them badly. Trailing here in the fourth quarter as they begin this drive 1st and 10. And now they're in the hurry-up. On 2nd down, here's Herbert. That's complete to the tight end, Everett. And they'll get to him right away as he's taken down right there at the 44. Herbert setting up to throw on 1st down. Over the middle, and it's caught. Keenan Allen. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 43. Herbert's throw going into the hands of Williams.
Let's go.
He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Harrison Smith. With the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys, they've been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along, but if you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And they have been the better of the two sides to this point with a 2-score lead, 4th quarter of this Super Bowl, and the Lombardi Trophy within reach as they start this drive 1st and 10. Let's go, man. Let's go. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this 4th quarter. Now a give running right, Nwangu.
You ain't going nowhere.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. 2nd and 5. He gets it to Addison. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. And quickly we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. That one looks like he'll throw here. Looking for Addison again, and he's got him again. Touchdown, Vikings! Jordan Addison, his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Vikings are feeling good as they extend their lead in this Super Bowl. What a huge touchdown that was, obviously, here in the late stages of the fourth quarter as they try to put this one away.
And, Brandon, when they watch the film after this week, they'll be very proud of every rep if they close this game out. Just a few snaps remaining. They can't relax just yet.
Now the try here for the point after. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And Jordan Addison capped it off with a touchdown catch. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. And the LA offense ready for this next possession. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
On 1st and 10, Herbert. Got an open man. It's Josh Palmer. And they work this well upfield across the 45. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. On 1st down, Justin Herbert. Well, this is caught by Williams. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game. Back to throw here, Herbert. That's taken in by Palmer. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep it.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Chargers going to use their 3rd and final timeout. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. Here's Herbert. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
No choice but to go. Here's 4th down now. They snap it to Herbert. And he is caught. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. Mike Williams, 47 yards. And the Chargers' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Wow, talk about a big 4th down conversion for the score. Defensively, how do you let that happen?
I think you start with the offense, and you give them credit for going for it, having that kind of... Well, let's face it, audacity. But defensively, I think you're right on target, partner. There's no way something like that's supposed to happen in that situation. You're supposed to be able to shut that down and get the... ball back for your own team. Instead, they give up not just a big play, but a touchdown.
2nd and 10. He'll look to throw again. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
And they have done it. The Minnesota Vikings are the Super Bowl champions, and the Lombardi Trophy is going back to the land of 10,000 lakes. And when this moment comes, I think you look back at all the blood, sweat, and tears, the offseason, the workouts, training camp, week 1, 2, 3, all building up now to say you're a Super Bowl champion. It's worth it.
It certainly is, and rarely do we have a team that hoists the Lombardi Trophy that didn't have their share of bumps along the way, didn't have to face some adversity in the journey, and now they get to just enjoy it and revel in it. And all offseason, they'll be signing their autographs with Super Bowl champion underneath it.